Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. XRP has hit a new all-time high. I have been waiting over 7 years for this to happen, and it happened this morning. I never lost conviction that we would get here. Never. Not that I technically knew for sure it was going to happen, but I always believed by a lot that this is the most probable thing to occur. If something is useful, an asset, in this case XRP, humans don't just chuck it to the wayside. And I monitored it every single day for over 7 years. And unless something came about that would have broken that would have made XRP no longer useful, if utility decreased, fine, then I would have been like, oh, we in trouble. That never happened. And XRP has been supremely undervalued for years, largely thanks to the SEC. But as I've insisted year after year after year, eventually markets find disparities as such, and they adjust. Markets are really good at eventually finding if something is undervalued, sniffing that out, and then it propels to the upside. As far as I'm concerned, this was always a virtual inevitability. So let's talk about it. And by the way, my very last video, which went live around like 7 a.m. this morning, it was recorded before the all-time high, and it happened to be about the all-time high price. Like, what is the all-time high price? And I went into a fair amount of detail there, covering all sorts of dynamics and why it wasn't as clear-cut as I wished it was. I actually do have some additional clarity that I want to share with you. And I will just say this, yes, unquestionably, the all-time high was hit. I know some people are looking at the prices on Live Coin Watch or CoinMarketCap and saying, no, it wasn't. We'll get to that. I touched on it in the last video as to why those prices are bogus. I'll touch on it again briefly in this video, but again, I have additional clarity, and the answer is yes, the all-time high was hit. But before going any further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 9:36 a.m. Central Time, Thursday, January 16th, 2025. And let me tell you something, I am never going to forget this day, not a freaking chance in hell. January 16th, 2025. Just like I'll never forget July 13th, 2023, when XRP got its legal clarity. These are always going to jump out at me now. This is life-changing stuff here. I always believed that this would happen. Here we are, and I know that so many of you are right there along with me. We were together going through this. We are an actual community, a big-ass community, and we were right. How about a see I told you so to all the toxic Bitcoin maximalists out there? We were right, you were wrong. And it is kind of satisfying. I'm not going to pretend like it's not. It absolutely is satisfying, especially after all the crap we went through. What a ride. I mean, it's not just putting up with the toxic Bitcoin maxis. All the SEC stuff, the toxic Bitcoin maximalists didn't have to deal with the SEC breathing down their necks, ruining their net worth. We did, but we're on the other side of this thing and we're better for it. So XRP is at $3.28 as I record this video. It's currently at $3.37. Or the all-time high was at $3.37, and that all-time high was hit a little after 7 a.m. this morning Central Time, which is my time zone. But it started to creep up to the $3.30 range, maybe just like a couple minutes before 7 a.m. And I started watching. I was like, oh my god, is it going to happen like right now? And the answer was ultimately yes. Like, it happened inside of several minutes, like from when I started watching at that point. And here we are. And so yes, it's pulled back slightly since then. But I do want to note this. That's because Bitcoin had a pullback, so the market still moves together. It was cool to see that XRP led the market yesterday. Those instances are kind of rare. In this particular instance, Bitcoin had a pullback starting, and it wasn't like a crazy one, but it looks like it was right at 8:30 a.m. this morning. And so then if you look at XRP, when it started pullback, it was 8:30 a.m. So it's just the market moving in tandem. It's still going to do that even in bull markets. There's nothing crazy there, nothing terrible, nothing bad. But the market cap for XRP was over, I don't remember exactly what the peak was, but it was over 190 billion. It's currently at 188 billion, safely number 3 in market cap, coming for that number 2 spot. ETH, it's definitely coming here. And let me show you some amazing data here. Take a look at this from XRP scan, number of new accounts activated. That's the chart in the middle of the screen here. So, as I mentioned many times before, throughout most of 2024, on any given day, there were about 1,000 new accounts created. Could be a little less, could be a little bit more. And then, of course, as things heated up, as we got into elections into the election, beginning part of November, things really got hot here. Tons of new accounts created, and it kind of persisted. And it'll be interesting to see what this day ends at, since this was a new all-time high day. But we're at, like, mind you, this is like the beginning part of the day, and there are already, for January 16th, again, it's not been that long since the day started here, 7,802 new accounts already. I will be looking forward to see what that ends at the day. That's like, wow, what a burst. And yesterday, we ended at 12,851. And just wait until we're truly in price discovery, because we're not going to stay below that new all-time high for long. I don't think so. And also take a look at this. People are way more interested in XRP than Bitcoin on a global scale. Look at this Google Trends. Look at this data. The blue line's XRP searches, just Google searches. Red line is Bitcoin. That's right, XRP has overtaken it. Not surprised. This is what happens, folks. It's gonna go absolutely crazy. And so here was my post. This is at 7:05 a.m. this morning, right around the time, within minutes of when XRP hit its new all-time high. I wrote, XRP is hitting all-time highs on multiple exchanges right now. XRP $3.35 as I type this. And again, that was 7:05 a.m. And I shared a post from the blockchain backer. And he noted at that in this post, 7:01 a.m., XRP on Binance all-time high. Now, of course, Binance is the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange by volume. It was an all-time high there. That's a big deal. Then he had this, XRP on Kraken all-time high. And that was at 7 a.m. Then you had this, XRP on Bitfinex all-time high. That was at 6:55 a.m. And then he had this one at 6:54 a.m., XRP on Bitstamp all-time high. And so, again, there are questions, though. So wait a minute. What's up with, like, for instance, here, I'll pull this back up. Your XRP all-time high. You can see it's reported from Live CoinWatch, $3.92. If you go to CoinMarketCap, it's $3.84. So what gives? And I did touch on this in the last video. Actually, I went into great detail in the last video, so I'm going to try and be brief on that point here, but I want to make sure everybody knows, because I kept getting this comment over and over and over again on X, understandably so, but isn't the all-time high $3.84? So I want to address that here. It's kind of crucial on a day like this, I'd say. So here's a post from Alex Cobb, and he posted this at 6:50 a.m. That's actually around the time my video on the topic went live. And so he was like, okay, so to be clear, for XRP, there's basically 3 different all-time highs. Ballpark numbers here, $3.30 in USD/USDT pairs, $3.80 global average on CoinMarketCap, $4.15 plus in the Korean won pairs with exchange rate at this time. Okay, so we can throw out what was on CoinMarketCap, and we can throw out the $4.50 Korean won pairs. And so why? Well, it has to do with this post from David Schwartz. This is actually from April 8th, 2023, and it's interesting that it happened to be shared by the blockchain backer here at 7:22. I actually shared it this morning, coincidentally, in my video that went live before he even posted this. I was just sharing some data because I knew that David Schwartz had talked about it, and I wanted to share it with you. So here's this post from David Schwartz, who is one of the creators of XRP and the XRP Ledger, on April 8th, 2023. XRP once had a reported price of well over $3, but that price was computed including exchanges where the asset on the other side was converted into dollars using an official exchange rate. That was the official exchange rate, and that was too high. So it was an artificial one. There was an official exchange rate converted into dollars, but it was artificial and it was too high. It was forced, right? And so he says the real all-time high is about $2.80. Now, I explained in my last video that I respectfully reject that $2.80 figure, and very simple reason for that. I mean, there are lots of reasons, but let me give you a personal one. I remember seeing XRP around $3.30 7 years ago. And I saw it on January 4th and undoubtedly January 5th, because I was watching it like a hawk on both days. But those were the only 2 days that XRP was above $3 until just yesterday, actually. And today is the 4th day it's ever been above $3 in history, by the way. So those were the days. I checked it out January 4th and January 5th. And January 4th was the all-time high in 2018 for XRP. And so I saw it up there. And so already, like, I know from personal experience, $2.80 was definitely not the all-time high. So not sure where he got that figure, but I respectfully dispute that. And so does the blockchain backer. So he shared that post. And look, and to be clear, I don't know why there was this fake official exchange rate, and it was over in Korea. No idea why, but there's such heavy volume over there that it materially changed the price of XRP, that it skewed it upwards that high. That's the reason that happened. So I don't know the reason that happened. I've never seen anyone explain that. I don't even know how to figure that out. Do we try and contact people over in Korea, like in the government or something? Like, what do you even do? I don't know. That'd be hard enough to crack. Maybe somebody knows. If so, please drop a comment. I'm very curious. But suffice it to say, like, that was the end result of this. And so the blockchain backer knew this, obviously. So he shared that post, and here's what the blockchain backer said to Alex Cobb. He said, David argues that that was a reporting error for exchange rates at $3.80. No American exchanges offered that. He argues $2.80, but since it was $3.31 to $3.35 everywhere, that's my number, $3.35. Okay, now at this point, I'd like to pause and note that I shared perspective from a chart analyst who noted that the price, the all-time high on Binance, was $3.55. I shared that in my last video, and I just want to note that has to have been a mistake. And having been there, like I didn't recall seeing that, and it wasn't clicking as I was recording the video, but I never saw XRP that high. I saw it around $3.30. I remember that. I never saw it up that high. But that's what he reported. It's probably just a typo, like that happens. So that would not be the all-time high, $3.55. But it looks like I think it was $3.35. I'm pretty sure. Somebody can fact check that one too, but if not, it was like right around there. So given that that's the case, like once you hit that $3.35 level, that means every exchange, other than obviously the Korean ones, which are outliers that we're rejecting for reasons I just cited. Outside of that, the all-time high has been hit, as far as I know, on every exchange. If there's an outlier that I'm unaware of, please drop it in the comment section below. I'm just acknowledging if I'm very confident in something in my videos, I state that. If I'm not 100% sure, I acknowledge that. And so I'm telling you right now, I'm not 100% sure, but I haven't seen reports of any other exchange where that's not the case. Now, also it was reported in my last, from this analyst, I think he had a number incorrect with Poloniex. He was saying it was like $3.53. I saw that was actually $3.28. So I think all of them have been hit. Everyone that I've seen tracked by any analyst anyway, I think they've all been hit. And so this is what's counting. And even if at this point, honestly, if there was like some low volume exchange where there was this outlier where it was higher, usually in instances like this, people will just cast aside the outlier on a low volume exchange and won't even freaking count it anyway. So either way, it's very clear that our community, and for good reason, I'd argue, has accepted this as the official all-time high. And then there are different price levels depending on what exchange you're on as far as the all-time high goes. But that's it. So we broke it. Today is all-time high day, for sure. Like we definitely are at this level. And so then Alex Cobb responded to the blockchain backer and he said, damn, official all-time high is $2.80. And blockchain backer said, no, too many exchanges offered $3.31 to $3.35. So that is true. So I hope that clears it up. But yes, without doubt, this is new all-time high territory. I know at the time I'm recording this, did I say what time it is? I think I don't know. My brain's going like a million miles per minute. Now it's 9:47 a.m. Central Time. Yeah, I said that. No, I remember now. Sorry, I'm just excited. And so like my brain's kind of all over the place right now. It's just such a surreal day because I've been waiting for this for over 7 years. I didn't know so many of you are right there with me. Some of you have been waiting 7 years or even longer for the next one anyway. Some of you have been here longer than me. Most people haven't been here quite as long, but it doesn't matter. Most of you went through pretty similar journey to me and went through all that SEC nonsense. You are here. Most of you are here for this stuff. And I know some of you are new, in which case you are welcome to the community. Thank you for coming around and thank you for stopping by my channel. But man, what a this is just insane. Which means today, I get to open up my next XRP wine bottle. I've got multiple XRP branded wine bottles. Or branded's not the right word, but, like customized. There's a company that makes them. And so a long time ago, years ago, I bought a bunch of them. And I decided that for various milestones, I'd pop them. The first one I opened was on July 13th of 2023 when XRP got its legal clarity. And after that, I said the next one I'm going to open will be when XRP hits a new all-time high. And that is today, January 16th, 2025. Here we are. Oh, you'll love to see it. Here's a post from chart analyst Tony Severino. And he posted this about 40 minutes after the all-time high was breached. And this resonated with me. I wanted to share this with you. He said, XRP should be a lesson for crypto investors to learn about patience. I said that weird. Patience? No, patience. Crypto investors are conditioned to have short attention spans and chase every intraday move. Yet, if you just averaged in for 7 years, a few months could change your life financially. It is even more interesting that everyone for so long said it would never move and gave up on it, all while everyone could see what it was capable of. Now, okay, that really resonated with me, and that's pretty much what I did, not for 7 years. I spent a few years accumulating, and then I decided that I spent way too much money on XRP, and I had a problem if I didn't stop. So I did make myself stop, but it's by a lot my largest individual crypto holding. At this point, after it's rocketed, it's now accounts for over half the worth of my entire crypto portfolio. My average buying price, though, it's about 25 cents. And so I bought a metric fuck ton of XRP, to be frank with you. And it was very risky. And that's what it's reported as. I always felt confident, though, so I wasn't afraid to do that. But he's right here. So, like, people are like, it's not going. There's something wrong. This is the way that people feel. It's not going. See, the price isn't going, so there's something wrong with it. No, the price in and of itself isn't necessarily a reflector of that, unless the price being stagnant or down is a reflection of a fundamental problem with the project. If like the fundamentals are decaying, sure, then it could make sense if the price is sideways or down, yeah. But was that the case with XRP? No. What does that mean then? There was a mismatch with the actual utility versus what the market was allocating in terms of money flowing in. It's obvious stuff here. I've been insisting this for the better part of a freaking decade. To me, it's been obvious the whole goddamn time. And here we are. It couldn't be more freaking obvious. But people have trouble with this. If it's not going, that means there's something wrong. Move on to something else. So when he said short attention spans, chase intraday, yes, that's exactly correct. But I already knew before I even jumped into crypto that when it came to be a successful investor just in like the stock market, the people who win are those who buy stuff and then don't touch it. They don't tinker with the positions. They're not buying individual stocks, this or that. Now, it's a little bit different with crypto. Yeah, I picked a bunch of stuff, but I basically made my own index. I hold a ton of different cryptocurrencies. And so I kind of made my own little index, so it's effectively the same conceptually. It's just about having broad exposure. Same with the stock market. So anyway, the point is you buy stuff and then you don't do anything for however long it takes, whatever that means. And just because something doesn't pop when you want it to, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with it unless the fundamentals are actually decaying. Then fine. But that was never the case with XRP. So duh! This is not rocket science here. I'm not a guru. I'm a dude on the internet named Moon Lambo, and I'm beating these idiot sticks. And so are you if you're an XRP holder, you know? It's crazy. But some people just don't get it. So somebody named Mario responded to Tony, and this guy does not get it, obviously. He said, just average for 7 years sounds a bit like a hindsight bias. I mean, unless you don't know some special news other people don't know, averaging in a dull, trendless pattern is a bit crazy. Before the recent leg up, the chart looked dead. So there you go. Hindsight bias. I don't have hindsight bias. I went through this and held and bought throughout. So no, it's not hindsight bias. Certainly not for me. And there's lots of people like me, by the way. But here he's talking about how it's dull and the chart looked dead. Son, the chart did not look dead. You just don't know what you're talking about. And this is the case. Like, understand this is your competition. I don't mean this to be rude to this guy. I don't know who this guy is. This is just what he actually thinks. But I'm going to be very blunt and honest here. This is your competition. It's people who are ill-informed, don't understand market psychology, and don't take the time to get broader perspective from people who do know how to read some goddamn charts. And I'm not a chart guy myself, but you don't need to be. Again, if the fundamentals are strong and you're willing to wait, you just win anyway. But if you're curious about how the charts look and when things might go, which I have been because I have skin in the game, then you follow a bunch of reputable chart analysts. And if you do, then you figure out what I found out. And what did I find out? I found out that based on historic precedent and 4-year cycles and understanding that global liquidity drives all of that, that XRP absolutely was going to pop this market cycle and that it was consolidating within a 7-year nearly symmetrical triangle. The longest consolidation phase in crypto history. And the longer something consolidates, the greater the force that it'll pop when it finally does. All of this is obvious. You can look at all sorts of metrics, including Bollinger Bands. That's the one we talked about extensively in 2024. The chart looks dead? No, Mario, you don't know what you're talking about. It looked primed. And dozens of analysts that I follow recognized that throughout 2024. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You have to pay attention. You have to understand human psychology. And you just have to have some damn conviction. You just do. If you know that you're right and you believe it in your bones, then do a thing. Whatever you think that is. But here, this guy, again, no offense to him, It's just so ill-informed. Now, Tony responded to him and he said, fair point, but averaging into investments is a good idea. Buying right before a big move is always preferred, but how often does that happen, or how many people know how to spot this? For the average investor, averaging in is ideal. So I'll pause to say, yes, averaging in is the right way to do it. You get broad exposure at various price points during a prolonged period of time, especially at the depths of the bear market. You'll buy something, it'll go down. You'll be like, oh, I'm down on my investment. But then you buy more, and you go, oh, it goes down. Oh, then you buy more. And then it'll go up a little bit. Oh, I'm up a little bit. But then it'll go back down. Oh, I'm down a little bit. That's it. That's what you do. You average in. And it doesn't feel fun when you're doing it, but it's smart, and you accumulate. That's it. It's not that hard conceptually, but in practice, people have a lot of trouble with it because there are emotions involved. And when it comes to investing, humans are their own worst enemy. And then Tony says, that said, I gave the setups right before the big breakout, but I was buying way before then because to me, it was clear all along that was happening. Yep. Look, I held XRP when it was as low as 10 cents in March of 2020 when the pandemic hit. 10 cents. And on the way down, I bought more. That's the cheapest I ever bought XRP. It was I couldn't catch the bottom, of course, but I bought XRP at 15 cents. And I was talking about it on my YouTube channel, and I was elated for it. I wasn't scared because I understood the price action doesn't matter. I understood that it was just people being emotional, doing emotional human things. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, though. And I bought more. That's that. That's just how it works here. And then there's this post from me. Some of you may have read this, but I want to share this. It kind of summarizes some of my key thoughts like this morning as I was going through this. So I posted this at 8:27 a.m., so about an hour and a half after XRP hit its all-time high, finally after over 7 years. Oh my God. This is going to be a celebratory day for me, and I'm sure it is for all you guys. Like, this is big. And by the way, I'll just say this. Like, I don't know where XRP price is going to peak. I'm never going to make price predictions. That's just not my jam. It's not my shtick. I'm not a technical analyst. But I will say this. I think it goes way higher. I mean, double and triple certainly doesn't sound crazy. We'll see where it goes. Some of the analysts think that we're going to hit more than $20. Doesn't sound so crazy now, does it? You see how quick the price action moves. And after me screaming this for 7 years, guys, I know it feels bad because we're moving sideways for so long and people saying it's never going to happen. But I was like, well, yeah, it feels to you like it's never going to happen, but just because it feels that way to you, it doesn't mean it won't. And when it goes, it happens very quickly. Well, it's happened pretty damn quickly, hasn't it? A little over 2 months ago, it was 49 cents. It just hit $3.37. And son, we are not finished here. So here's what I wrote. After the XRP all-time high of 2018 came and went, I made a bet with myself. It was a bet that at some unknown point in the future, XRP would hit a new all-time high. And so I spent the next 3 years buying at various price points. This bet was binary in nature. Either I was wrong and XRP would go to zero, or I was right. And with the passage of enough time, a new high would indeed be hit. All the price action in between would be inconsequential ultimately. I've been holding XRP for over 7 years, having never sold any of it, just waiting to find out if I bet wisely. I always believed the answer was yes, but today, January 16th, 2025, for the first time ever, I know I bet wisely. And a new all-time high price has finally been hit this beautiful morning. I certainly didn't imagine it would take over 7 years to get here, but then again, I didn't expect XRP to be the only large-cap coin to be attacked by the SEC. The price was artificially suppressed for several years, and we had to wait. But now we are reaping the benefits of holding one of the best-performing cryptocurrencies in history. It's been a truly wild, unexpected, yet fulfilling journey. I'm very thankful for the XRP community. Such a journey would have been far more terrifying and tumultuous in solitude. A lack of information and understanding will easily make one doubt their investment, but our community consistently shared knowledge year after year, removing doubt and uncertainty. It's the attainment of knowledge that resulted in much deserved confidence. I slept easy each night. And so I'm going to pause from my own statement to elaborate on that a little bit further here. In me sharing my personal beliefs on this, even though I don't know what's right for any individual, so I'm never offering actual financial advice, of course. I like to share my general thoughts about this stuff. It's fun to talk about, of course, just as a regular dude. But I don't know what's best for you, so I can't tell you to buy or sell or hold. But I will tell you this. I always, I've always thought that it's just crucial to understand as much as possible, because when it comes to investing, what really scares people outside of the day-to-day volatility, it's not knowing. It's not knowing things that you really need to know from a fundamental perspective. It's not knowing how human psychology works in these markets. If you can understand those things, my God, you are light years ahead of the competition. And so I've spent years just focusing heavily on that. And I hope that, I mean, maybe I did sound like a broken record at times, I don't know, but I still feel like it was the right thing to focus on, because it is that important. And you can't just hear it once and then just get it. Neither can, and I can't either. Like, that's not how this works. We need to be reminded of this consistently. Repetition is useful. Repetition is a tool, right? And so I just had the strong desire to share the things that I knew through my own research, but I didn't learn everything that I know just on my own. Like, I already jumped in 2017 learning, standing on the shoulders of giants that came before me who were investing in XRP back in 2013, 2014, 2015, so on and so forth. People that had already done a lot of the work in figuring this stuff out, recognizing XRP makes sense. That made sense. And sharing all sorts of information with me. And I just sucked all that information up like a vacuum, and then I shared it on my channel, and I've been doing that consistently. And so I'm one tiny little piece of this community. But the cool thing is, so many people in our community do that. That's the reason we know stuff. And it does help to instill confidence. It's that knowledge, that community participation that made it possible for so many of us to get here. If I couldn't have learned what I learned from so many other people, I don't know what today would look like for me. If I didn't have that option, I don't know. I don't know that I would have found success. Certainly not to this scale. I certainly wouldn't have had this confidence, which means I probably would have invested less, you know? But because my confidence was so through the roof, and I still insist for good reason, yeah, I put in a boatload of money. I honestly did. But it's not just because of me. I'm not some sort of wizard awesome dude. Like, I mean, yeah, I did some wise stuff here, obviously, but I'm not the only one. And it was because other people did some heavy lifting before I even knew XRP existed. And then I learned from them. And I just hope that in some way I was able to be help to many of you in some capacity, even if it's just small. I hope so. And I think that we all hope that in the XRP community, that if we know stuff, we want to share that with others. So I do hope that's the case. I've always hoped that's the case. That's part of the fun of running this YouTube channel. I'm not a know-it-all, though. I'll share what I know, but I'm always learning from other people. And that's the way that I look at this. And if not for that, this journey would have been a lot harder. And so I worded that particular paragraph very specifically. I worded it that way for a reason. And those are my additional thoughts on that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The XRP community is the best community in all of crypto, hands down. I then wrote, above the XRP all-time high is price discovery, and we'll find out together just how high this thing can go. And there will be pullbacks along the way. But my friends, today we are 100% vindicated in our belief that XRP is an incredible investment opportunity. I've always found it to be so obvious, and maybe some of the skeptics will now come around to understand why. You know what else is cool? The best, despite this tremendous milestone, is yet to come. Prepare for moon landing. And there we are, folks. Oh, please tell me your stories. Tell me how you're feeling, what you're thinking in the comment section below. Let's talk. Please tell me what you're thinking. I would absolutely love to hear from you, especially on a day like this. But I'll wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.